welcome your rage. I'm just kidding. Don't progress.
Do you like?
She said cheese roll.
In my last video sharing my new life in Japan, a few people left questions asking, what did I do to manifest my love or marriage? And also in this case, to get into Japan, because that's where my husband was located and the borders were closed and still are closed for almost 2 years now. Initially, I saw a sweet international couple in a YouTube video, and it touched me so much that I used my imagination and used their energy to imagine my own sweet conversation with my own love that only existed in imagination at this point. And I would repeat this imaginal scene whenever I felt like it, probably at least a handful of times in a number of months. And I met him and it was very natural. I didn't even realize this was going to be my husband. But soon enough, we became in a relationship. For the marriage part, I remember using the prop of some cheap but pretty rings, and I would wear these rings and imagine that I'm married. Now you don't actually need props. There was actually a story of one of Neville's students who also did use a physical ring as a prop, but Neville had said it's not necessary. But if it helps you and it feels good, feel free to use props. Now to get myself in Japan, when I would go to bed, I would imagine sleeping with my husband and imagine I was sleeping in Japan for a moment. I would do my best to feel its reality, even if it felt shadowy at first or for a while, and then I would drift off to sleep. I also did use a prop for this as well. I bought a big body pillow, and I would imagine it is my husband and that we are sleeping in Japan. Now I didn't do this every day, but I did it whenever I felt to, and after some time I didn't feel I needed to do it anymore, so I didn't. Other things I did to help keep the momentum going, the spirit alive, the feeling of the wish fulfilled. I would watch all kinds of photos and videos of Japan that made me fall more and more in love with it. I would even look around Google Maps at the places I wanted to be, and I would use Street View so I could actually feel like I was there on the street walking, and I'd click on the stores and restaurants and imagine I was actually at those places when I'd read the reviews and watch the photos. And I even collected some of these photos and made my own little mind movie because it felt good to do so. You don't have to do all this, but I had a lot of extra times and it felt joyful to do, so I did it. And I would just use some free or cheap app on the mobile phone, and I would set it to music that had a very special meaning to me. And I also put a voiceover, little imaginary conversations, talking as though all my wishes were fulfilled, either in my voice or I'd mimic the voice of my husband-to-be, as though he was my husband and we were living happily in Japan. And I would watch this mind movie in the morning, sometimes in the evening, but usually I felt the mood to do so in the mornings, to set the mood right. And when I no longer felt to watch it, I no longer watched it. And then after some time, you sort of let go of everything, and then things start to work themselves out. And not only did I have my man, but we were married, and now I'm living in Japan, happily. So when you see someone with something that you want, use that energy to feel it for yourself with your imagination. And if you feel to use props, then by all means go ahead. Oh, another extra thing I remember. To feel Japan more, I would sometimes buy products from Japan. And when I would use the products, I'd feel their oneness, whether it was food or bath salt. I would just feel Japan. So if you see someone with something that you want, use that energy to feel it for yourself and have your own imaginary conversation. Just play around with it and do your best to lose yourself in your imagination. And when you feel your mood uplifted, a smile on your lips or within, then you know you've done it, and practice makes perfect. Repeat the act as you feel. For some, once is enough. For others, regularly until they get what they want or they know it's theirs. And for others, it will be something in between, something you may regularly do, or as you feel in the mood to do so, especially if you start to feel lack. But I also find in regularly doing it, then you don't have to chase the lack with imaginary sessions. When you start to find what works best for you, it starts to imbue a calmness and confidence. So that's what I did to imagine my man, imagine our marriage, and imagine being in Japan and happy. And I'm on to imagine even more wondrous things.
I messed up on yours a little bit, but it was made with love, so it will be good. Okay. Alright, try one. I am a little rusty. I hadn't made this for a while.
Good.
Yeah, but.
Well, good.
Oh, thank you. It was made with love, so you cut the feeling. I'll taste the love. Yeah. Dekimashita.
はいはい。
How is it? Oishii.
そう、美味しい。
Thank you. Bochi-chan, I am a cyborg. Do you know what a cyborg is? I am imagining I am a cyborg. 似てる。